Good Tuesday.
And happy tacos. It is Tuesday, which means that today is the day where we come together and we answer any and all of your questions. And just a reminder for those of you guys who are especially listening to this on podcast or watching this on YouTube, that in order for you to ask your questions, all you have to do is just hop on our main Facebook page where we have a form where you just get to ask your question, and then on the Q&A shows, we answer those. Okay, so just in case if you're wondering, where to drop these,
where to drop them like it's hot.
Go to our Facebook community page,
Erin and
Sarit. Yeah.
Click more on the announcements section and find the post with the link to submit your questions.
Yep. All right, you guys. So that being said, let's get into some questions.
Question number one
from Angela Jenkins. Angela, I don't know if you've been on fire ever since you submitted that video a week ago. But I feel like now I'm seeing you everywhere. Needless to say, that's freaking awesome. So congratulations for showing up. Okay. Angela is from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and she's asking, who decides, who creates / plans the workouts for each day?
Which workouts are we talking about?
Yeah, so for one, we make the decision. Now, who creates the workout, that all depends on which program we're talking about. So with regards to the burn zone workouts, if I'm not mistaken, you're currently in burn zone 2, maybe. But I created all of them. Now, with regards to our underground training club, we are actually working with a longtime friend of ours who, in fact, used to coach us for quite a bit of time. Back in the day when we were just doing like a lot of CrossFit related things and whatnot, we really, he's a dear friend and we really enjoy, his style of programming. And obviously, as we're growing, though, yes, we want to do all the things, we got to keep the main thing. So it's a matter of, who do we know who is highly qualified, who has similar standards to ours, who can put together a fun, safe, and effective workout that can really just push it. So
he's part of the team in a very, very behind the scenes way.
Yeah. And in case you guys are wondering, his name is Jason, and he programs the Underground Training Club. But other than that, everything else is all us. Thank you for your question, Angela, and keep up the great work. Question number 2 is from Olivia Cody from Toronto, Canada. At the start of the TKC, I took photos for progress tracking. Ooh, I have a feeling this is a good one. I have felt confident throughout the process and getting set up for success. However, seeing these photos really made me feel shameful and set my self-esteem back a bit. My question is, how do you navigate a successful lifestyle and path to where you want to be with the monkey on your back? I don't feel like I will resort back to poor habits, but I want to keep my mental game strong in this regard. Lots of love and thank you for everything you do. So I don't know if this is like a foreign thing that I'm not understanding. Monkey on your back?
I think it's a irritation. It's like I've got baggage, like I've got something that's like weighing me down.
Okay, so seeing these photos really made me feel shameful and set my self-esteem back. Okay.
So essentially she's saying, I saw the photos of myself. I felt shameful about them. My self-esteem was lowered. If I want to navigate a successful lifestyle, how do I do that with these feelings? I don't feel like I'm going to go back to bad habits, but I want to remain mentally strong so that I can keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so a couple of things with regards to that, and this is all, purely out of personal experience because I got to live in one body so far in my life, as far as I know. But what we need to assess is, why are you feeling a certain way when you're seeing these photos? I can only help but to imagine that maybe your standards have started to increase. So you would expect, based on your standards, that your body would look a certain way. Now, your body is not going to do a 360 overnight. It takes quite a bit of time. Um, and with regards to not being satisfied with how you look and maybe lowering your self-esteem, it really is just a matter of experience and wisdom, because I will tell you guys this, that like even nowadays there's some days where I look in the mirror and I'm like, with where I'm at right now, like there's three different responses. They're like, damn, I look good, versus like, okay, like this is what I'm used to, versus like, man, I really don't like how I look. So like, know that even when you're really, really advanced, like you're still going to have those days where you're like, man, like I'm not so satisfied with how I look. So like I would like to know, to take your question one step further and ask you, why is that? Is it because you feel like with your increased consistency that your body should be looking different by now, when in fact you've only been giving it 14 days? You guys, 14 days is 2 weeks.
It was the start of the TKC. It's like, it's confronting your reality. Mm-hmm. It is sometimes difficult. Confrontation in itself comes with a level of difficulty in most cases. So when you're confronting a reality that is not the way you want it to be, it's difficult. So the first thing to know is, it's not bad to have any specific feeling. It's just a feeling. So, I always say, if feelings and emotions were not meant to be experienced, they wouldn't exist. So for some reason, they have a purpose. Every emotion, every feeling has a purpose. What's its purpose? You have two choices when you feel something like this. For one, you have to realize it's just a thing that I'm feeling. Doesn't mean that it is the only thing that determines the outcome of this feeling is the decision I choose to make based off of the way I choose to see it. You have two choices in this circumstance. You can let it overcome you, completely overwhelm and absorb you, or you can use it as fuel to say, all right, this feeling sucks, and I acknowledge that. Maybe I'm even going to cry about it, which again isn't bad. If we didn't have tears, or if we weren't supposed to cry, we wouldn't have tears. We wouldn't feel those things. So it doesn't need to be bad. It just is. Now, what do I do with it? I can say, well, I know that I am aware of this feeling based off of this experience, and I'm going to choose to allow myself to feel, but then also make a conscious decision in how I am going to take action. There's going to be action taken, no matter what. There's going to be action taken. What is the action going to be? Are you going to lay down and die, or are you going to stand the fuck up taller and be like, all right, let me face this head on and let me take the next step forward? That's your choice. So I've been in that position too. And you know, the day that I remember that really changed the trajectory of my health, my body composition, you know, my own personal weight loss, if you call it, journey, or personal growth and development journey is really what it should be called. I was getting ready to take a shower, and I just caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, which was not the first time I'd ever seen myself, but it was different because I was sick. I was sick of feeling like I was mediocre. I was sick of feeling like I couldn't stick to my word. I was sick of feeling like I was putting my body, its health and the shape of it, in the hands of pills or, you know, certain diets. I was sick of feeling like the actions I was taking in my life were so far like below average that I just like I couldn't do it anymore. And I got in the shower and I sat down and I cried and I grabbed my stomach and I cried. And then that changed everything. The next day I got a gym membership. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what to do. I was like, let me go walk on the treadmill. I was like an athlete. I played sports 3 seasons out of the year, every year. But I had no idea how to eat well. Had no idea how much this had to do with it. And when I sat down in the shower and I cried, that is this moment for you. And I could have stayed there. I could have woe is me'd. I could have kept blaming things that are outside of my control. But what I did was I picked up the phone and I called the closest 24-hour fitness to my house, scared as hell. Because why? Uncertainty. I didn't know what I was going to be committing to. I was scared to commit. I don't want to commit. I think I need a membership. What do I do? Come in. Oh, that's scary. But I went. Do personal training. Oh, but I did. And everything in my life changed. Because it was one decision, one forward moving action at a time. And that is where you're going. Those are the choices you have. It was a really long story, but I found it impactful.
Yeah, that was awesome. You know, I will say to you, Olivia, like if I was to ask you a question, that question would be, how confident do you feel handling it? Handling how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, I have full faith that I'm going to get through it. 1 being like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I will tell you right now from my own life experiences that days like this, it doesn't matter how far you are in your journey. It doesn't matter like what your body composition is at. Everybody has those days. If you agree from your own life experience, then if you're watching us live, do us a favor and drop, you know, this is me or this is true in the comments. And, you know, the reality is that if you're not at a 10, even if you were at a 10, actually, because At this point in my life, everybody who is in my life is 100% supportive in anything and everything that I do. And the most supportive person is in my physical environment all the time. And, you know, like on days where you feel that way, even if you're confident, you need to have a really strong support system. And that's why we always say, never go through it alone. And, you know, that's why for you guys who are doing the TKC, this is exactly why we're offering you guys the Raw Transformation Program. At a ridiculous price too in comparison to any of the other coaching programs that we offer. Why? Because we know that you need the support. Because dude, when you see the power of making progress, you now start to appreciate the progress that you've made, and you know that the biggest fear is going back to your old ways. So we're like, come up with us. We know that we've got something proven. And there's an amazing support group there. Forget like the amazing team that we have, but like you guys is what makes it. Like imagine if you were to have a day like that. And see, like you guys are dropping true. Like you guys know that it doesn't matter. Some of you guys have been in our community for 6 months, some of you guys for 1 year, some of you guys for 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. Like you guys all relate to this. And that's why, like, if you are not currently doing any of our programs, you need to do yourself a favor and join the Raw Transformation Program. Because after 14 days, you might feel, because, like, you're now in it, that you're like, okay, things are different, but your habits are not different yet. They're not. I don't care how committed and how disciplined you are. 14 days is simply just not enough time. Just like when it rains, like you need to give the ground time for it to dry up and mold and become really, really hard. In 14 days, it simply doesn't matter. Like you need to overcome more shit in life and overcome it with confidence in order to have that strong foundation. Otherwise, because life is gonna throw shit storms or rainstorms or whatever you want to call it, storms around you, how are you going to handle it? So that's just my recommendation. Thank you, Stacy, for dropping the link, improvisesolutions.com/raw. For those of you guys listening on podcast, like do yourself a favor and, join this incredible opportunity. And, thank you for trusting us, Olivia, to take your very first step. But it doesn't end until after 14 days. In fact, this is really just the beginning of you convincing yourself that you're ready to take it to a higher level. So.
And I know that there's been change being made too there. So.
Is Olivia Catherine and Olivia Cody the same person?
Yes.
Got it. She's in the Raw, isn't she?
Yeah, TKC Reset My Habits. Yeah, she is.
Awesome. Congratulations.
She actually signed up before it was live.
Committed. You knew. Dude, when you're committed, you just know. Congratulations. I had no idea that it was the same Olivia. I'm like, man, Olivia's becoming a pretty popular name.
Wow, going through it alone is not an option. You have to have people in your corner that will help you to get through the tough times and help hold you accountable when you want to give in to the old habits.
Lauren Waymayer, that's one of our coaches.
You will always want to give in to old habits until you've done it long enough to where you know how to manage when they come around. They don't go away. You just get better at managing them. Desires. Because that's part of who you've been for however long. So
this is exactly why I signed up for more inner circles. I would go through more things. Yeah. Look
at any successful person.
These are our coaches.
Hold on. Any successful person. And I want you to see if they did it alone. if there was nobody in their corner, if there was no team, if there was no, there's no, when people are like self-made millionaire, I'm like, bullshit. Somebody helped you along the way at some point, somewhere, in some time. You may have started from zero. We started from zero. That doesn't mean we did it by ourselves.
You know, transformation of any kind does not happen in isolation. Rule number one, never go through it alone.
Yep. Greatness does not happen solo.
No.
All right. This next one is from Marie from New York. I only read the first like 4 words and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. How do you deal with jealousy towards your significant other? My girlfriend is so much better than me in some fitness. Ooh, this is getting even better. In some fitness aspects like handstands and push-ups, and I'm so proud of her, but at the same time, I want to be able to accomplish that, and I can get a little jealous. How do you guys handle that?
Okay, let me answer that. Okay, so Marie, thank you for answering, for asking this question. This is freaking awesome, and thank you, for your vulnerability, opening up to it. But
you asked the right people.
You're asking the right people, because I legit, it took me like a year to like start like getting a good grasp on that. So, like both Erin and I, like when we met, we were both, pretty competitive in CrossFit. Erin is just better. Like we both work hard, but Erin is just better. I'm the grinder.
You're extremely strong.
Yes. But you're just better. Like we both were, and we're talking about it this morning, like after we took a shower, about our workouts. Like
we still visit this conversation.
Yeah, but the energy now, and like it's different, but so Erin is just better. Like her skills are just more fluid, like her threshold is higher. The only thing that I would ever beat her on is like weight. Lower body lifts. Not even, no, because your bench has always been stronger than mine. I feel like my pull-ups have definitely improved, but at the beginning your pull-ups were a lot stronger than mine. But when we first met, we were in like a bi-coastal relationship. So I lived in Jersey, she lived in Oregon, and we really we knew that we loved each other, like that we were in love literally from, I speaking from my own experience from the first day. From
moment one.
Yeah. And, when she came...
From when you were teaching me how to swing a tennis racket, remember?
Yeah.
Like this.
And when she came to visit me in Jersey, a couple months after we met, she extended her trip, and then during this, weekend together, we're like, let's do something crazy together. Like, it's like, we knew that we're each other's same kind of crazy. Like, we're both so bold, and it just magnifies with one another. And, we knew that we wanted to live a life together, because it is just, when you really care for a person, you want to experience everything with them, right? So, we made a lot of sacrifices, but we knew that it was for the greater good, because ultimately, that's the path to our happiness. So
where's the story going?
So when we moved in together and we were living in San Diego, California, we would work out together.
This was the first time we'd actually do
workouts together. It was right. And because at that time we were working in kind of the same industry, but we were doing different things. I was personal training. At that point, you took a pause from personal training, and you were the sales manager for the entire West Coast for X Endurance. So our schedule looked different, but we made it a point that every single day, unless you had to travel we would work out together, and we would eat dinner together, and we'll go to bed together. So like our workout time was kind of like our how we spend time together. And I kid you not, after every single workout, I would literally have I would throw a tantrum. I would throw a tantrum after each and every single workout. Like looking back, it's so funny, and just
I mean,
I would say dumb, honestly, thinking about it, but in the moment this is how I felt. So Marie, I totally get where you're coming from, and how you're feeling is very, very valid. But one day Erin just had a conversation with me after the workout, and she's like,
well, let me tell you from my perspective too. Like, we did the CrossFit Open. Our scores are public. So you knew what my scores were. Like, you were creeping on me, I was creeping on you.
oh yeah,
You knew what my scores were. So you already knew like what my capability was. But there's something different when you're doing the same workout side by side, and you start the workout at the same time, you have the same weights, you're doing the same exact movements with the same standards. Everything is the same except for the person doing the workout. And when you do it side by side, the game changes. Than just seeing a score on a leaderboard and being like those of you in the UTC. Like, you can see scores, you can see our times, you can see the weights that we lift, you can see all the stuff, right? But there's something about when you do it side by side with somebody that changes the game. And so every single day when we would work out, we would do the same programming, we would do the same workouts. And the energy would just get toxic, like dirty. And I remember we had this conversation, and I knew exactly what was going on, but I refused.
My energy just would shift.
And I knew, because we're both competitive. So takes one to know one. So I was like, if I were in her shoes, I probably would be pissy too, because we like to be the best. So, I remember we had the conversation of look, I refuse. I know you're upset, but there's something that you're going to need to do, because I refuse. I thought about going slower so that you would feel better about yourself. And I couldn't do that, because then I'm lowering the standard I have for myself, and I'm not going to continue to get better. This game is not, Marie, this game is not about you beating her or her beating you. This game is about you beating yourself. This game is about you being the best that you can be. Because for me, okay, well, what am I going to, I almost think she's in a good position. She's got somebody to chase after, to push her to go faster. If you're in the front, where is your motivation to push? Mm-hmm. If you're the best, where's your motivation coming from? Mm-hmm. That is a difficult place to be. So then I'll just try to lap her. That became my goal. But then she would get more pissed. So, it became this okay, I've got to look inside myself internally and ask myself, in all seriousness, this is a game about me versus me. And I gamify everything. I race the clock. I race myself. I play little games with myself in each workout just to push myself a little bit more. Today's workout, what did we do? 4 rounds of 8 hand release push-ups, 12 toes to bar, and 16 kettlebell snatches. And I told myself, okay, it's going to take me probably about this long to get through this work, to get through a round. So it take me about this long to get through this workout. And I was like, okay, if I move really quick, I can do it in less than this amount of time. So now I'm literally just competing against the clock. I'm just competing against the game I set for myself. Okay, I got to get it done in this amount of time. So that means each round needs to be done in this amount of time. And I gamify it. Start doing that. Just play the games with yourself or with the clock and not another person. That's my perspective.
Yeah. So here's what I would tell you from, my own experience. So, like I would throw literally like a tantrum, like inside my own head. And like Erin can tell when my energy drops. And then like, it's almost like every time, like, like on the weekends when we have dinner or something afterwards, like, okay, we're going to start a movie. And I have this thing that's like, once the TV's on, it almost like relaxes me. And in 10 minutes, I'm out. And I have this thing like where Erin asked me, "Baby, are you falling asleep?" And like with my eyes shut, I'm like, "Nope."
I'm like, why are you lying?
So I would do the same. I'd do the same thing with the workout. She's like, "You're upset." I'm like, "No," but like you can tell with my body language, everything says anger, just like frustration, because when you know that you are doing your best, and when you know that you're a go-getter, you want to be the best. But when the numbers show that you're not the best, it gets upsetting. And that's really what I was upset about, because I knew that wholeheartedly I gave it my all. And mentally, I was pushing myself to be the best. And it's like every single day, I got a reminder of, don't matter how hard you push, you're not the best. Don't matter how hard you push, you're not the best. So, my 2 cents, knowing what I know now, having, overcome that, is when you're competitive, if you focus on others rather than you, you'll never be able to see the full picture. So I was never able to appreciate, how I was actually improving on my workouts or how I was getting better, because all I was doing is, concluding the, workout based on the fact that I lost in today's workout, therefore I'm a loser. But I know that deep down I'm a freaking champion, but the numbers don't show it. What it ended up happening is that, like I had to have a conversation with myself and, ask myself, really, what is the intention of this workout? Is it to come together and spend time together where we both, like, get better together? Or is it because you want to compete with Erin? Like, what is your actual, like, long term or like big picture objective? Like, what is your objective out of this workout? Like, are you trying to make it to the CrossFit Games? I think very highly of myself. I think this is why I was upset, because I think very highly of myself, but I'm not the best, not even close to being the best. And that's why I was upset. But I'm like, okay, like, if your real intention is to get better, then you need to commit to that before every single workout. And like now, I mean, I we never like have tantrums
No, you
when
still
we
feel
work
it.
out together. Like, I just know, like, look, I already know that Erin's probably gonna beat me in 95% of the workouts, and I'm okay with it. And we were like legit talking about it this morning, about how, like, I wonder if I'm getting any faster, because when you only work out, we work out at our, own home. We have a gym in our garage, because it saves us a lot of time. And at this point, like, time is the most limited thing that we have, and we want to maximize it. So it makes more sense for us to work out, from our own garage. So, we work out together, and it's like, the result is always the same, but it's like, now what I do is I dig deeper, um, and really go with the intention of do your best, even if it means that you're gonna come after Erin. And for any of you guys who are doing the underground training club, like, you're seeing the scores, like, I'm always behind Erin, like, always. And I'm okay with it, but I know that I've done my best each and every day, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why we decided to combine forces and just be on the same team together, because together we are the fucking best. Like, we have different strengths, we've got different weaknesses, and that's in so many areas of our life. And we push harder with regards to different things. And I'm a grinder. I will push, 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 push. Don't matter how many times I, get told, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, I will do everything that I can to get it. You know, Erin's one of those people who's just got her way. But you work hard. You work hard, but you're just like, you've also got this incredible charm and talent about you.
Everybody's a different kind of smart.
Right.
I am kinesthetically smart. I'm very smart with my body. Somebody do something and I will do it and it will look the same most of the time. I can go and I can hit a baseball without fucking practicing. I can shoot a basketball, I can throw a football, I can throw a baseball, I can kick a soccer ball, I tried to play tennis, that went weird. But, that's my kind of smart. And I lean into it, but you have your own kind of smart too. You have your own kind of smart. Some people are really like scholarly, right? Some people are really like, they're great at like cooking. They're just like, I know what spices to put that go with these things. I'm like, put salt and pepper on everything. That's it. Like, everybody is a different kind of smart. Some people are really like scientifically brilliant. Some people are great inventors. Some people I don't know. But do math well. I'm not that kind. You guys see me try to do math and spell shit? It is not the same way I move, right? So just know that like you've got your own brilliance. It might not be the way you move your body or how athletic you are or how good you look doing it or how strong you are or whatever. The point is we can all get better at every single variety of smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what does that look like for you?
And, one more point to add to that is just because you're not the best doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on getting better each and every day. And I think that for me, that was like one of the biggest things. Mm-hmm. Like, Erin, especially with fitness, like she shows me every day that no matter how hard I work, I will never even come close to being the best. But, that was a great lesson in disguise because I'm sure that, if I was to retest, the workouts that I've done like 4 or 5 years ago, like they would only be better now because I kept the main thing, and I focused on getting better. Like, so what's happening now is we're both going up. I'm just like still under her like this.
There's a saying that goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, when you are really, really good at something, when you're really smart at something and you apply yourself and you lean into it, it's hard to beat you at that thing. But that doesn't mean that nobody else can improve. So you can still improve, and that should be your game. Not competing.
Yeah, and apply that to every area of your life,
yep.
Whether it's, your weight loss.
Yep.
Let's say if you and your partner started your journey like at the same time and they're like 20 pounds ahead of you. Look, one thing is guaranteed, that if you stop right now, like you are going to be behind. But, you guys can just focus on doing this together and you will both still get better each and every day. And that's what matters. And, for two go-getters with regards to your career, let's say if one person brings in more than the other, look, what's for sure is that for as long as you guys keep on doing what you're doing, like both of you guys are going to produce more.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make you any lesser of a person. But I think because I've thought highly of myself since day one, because I worked so hard, I thought that the numbers would look different. But no, Erin's just better than me. And I've had to overcome that and accept that she is better than me, and I can either choose to accept it and still, work out alongside her and we can both get better, or I can, have a pity party and work out by myself, and to be honest, probably not grow at a rate that I'm growing, because like I would be surrounding myself with either no other fish or smaller fish. And it's like, you want to get better in life, dude? Never ever be the biggest fish.
I literally, before the open, I changed gyms because nobody was beating me at the gym and I needed somebody to beat me. I needed somebody to be better than me. I went to a different gym. I changed gyms. The home gym I started at, it was bittersweet. I had to literally, I had a family there, and I left because I had a goal and I needed people that were going to be better than me, that were going to push me to be better. And I ended up 92nd or 91st or something like that out of 100,000 women.
Yeah.
So, you can surround yourself
really
on purpose.
Guys.
You can surround yourself on purpose with people who are better than you to push yourself to get better. So this is all about how you see it. Shauna goes, I love when you're working on your cherry pickers and Erin will give you a tip and you try it and it works.
Yeah, now I appreciate it. Before I'm like, don't tell me anything, man. Because I had I was driven by ego. Now I'm just like, let me be the student in anything.
Yep.
I used to think, now that I'm thinking about it, because I looked a certain way, that the rest of my life would be a certain way. But that's not the case. Just cause I had a six-pack doesn't mean shit.
Brittany's like, I put salt and pepper on everything too.
What?
Daisy's really good at smart ass. That's her smart. I would concur. So good. I wish I would have done this with my wife. She ended up stopping her progress after so long. I tried hard to be supportive. Yeah, you got, and here's the thing. For the person who is being compared to, don't lower your standard to make somebody else feel better about themselves.
Don't you ever do that.
You are not responsible for their feelings when you are simply doing the best you can do for you.
Nope.
You're not intentionally harming somebody, walking on them, being intentionally trying to hurt them. Don't lower your standard because somebody else can't dig within themselves to become better. Always be the best that you can be. I think that the reason that we have attracted all of you guys is because we've learned to dig into our strengths. We've learned to lean into the things that we're really good at, and that makes us a great team.
And also accept what we're weak at and still work on them.
Yes, but then also have trust in the other person. Okay, that's where you're going to excel, and to be supportive on both sides. Dodgeball. I kicked ass in dodgeball. I kicked ass. It's fun to be there and know how it happened in real life, and then see how they edited it to make it look like it was a close call on things. I'm like, come on. Didn't want to make the big man look that bad? Okay. Okay, anyways, you got to make good TV. Hopefully this was helpful. Laura said, my ex-girlfriend, my ex didn't like me going to the gym because she was afraid that I would meet someone skinnier than her. It was the start of a downhill slide. I managed to get her to the gym a few times, but her anxiety ruined the entire experience. I had a boyfriend who was the same way, always constantly afraid. you're going to meet some guy who's buffer than me, bigger than me, more handsome than me, lifts more weight than me. I'm like, yeah, because you don't even fucking lift weight. Of course, I am around people all the time. I worked in a gym. I was like, do you think that if I could have met somebody by now, I would have? There are a lot of attractive people who go to the gym regularly because they go to the gym regularly. So whatever I would have been attracted to, I would have seen every day. I'm like, it's irritating because it's like, for one, it's like you're not it's not a you're not trusting me kind of thing. I know that, but it's I mean, at the end of the day, it's an insecurity thing.
Yeah, it's that on them thing.
But, you know, I guess the best position we can put ourselves in is, again, not lowering your standard. That doesn't mean you quit going to the gym to make them feel better. They need to learn what they need to do inside themselves to feel better. And some of us need to learn what we need to do inside ourselves to make ourselves feel better. Any way that we feel bad about ourselves is nobody else's fault. There are things that could have been said to us in our past and, you know, conditioning and nurture and stuff like that. But it is our responsibility to look at what those things are and to make improvements on them.
Amen.
Yeah, that's it.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you guys already know how we show our form of gratitude. Just do us a favor and please share it with somebody else who will find value in this so that together, collectively, we can make a bigger impact on this world. Because
like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a review, 5 stars, 1 star. I don't know why you'd still be watching if it's 1 star, but fine, good on you if it is. All the stuff.
You completely just cut me off again, but that's okay.
I know I did that. Sorry. I wanted to make sure they knew.
But I was going to tell you guys what we're on a mission to, so you better say with me.
I knew you were going to say it. That's why I wanted to get all those things out of the way first, so this could be the grand finale.
Okay.
We're on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours.
So if you like this show, just spread the word so that collectively together we can make a bigger impact, because that's the name of the game. That's what this mission is all about. And if you're a part of this mission, then you better practice what you preach, yo. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Just a reminder that the Raw Transformation Program is coming up. We're starting on May 31st, 2021. And you can sign up by going to improvisolutions.com/raw. Give yourself this opportunity. You're worth it. It's going to be our best, biggest Raw yet, and we're so excited to have you in it. We hope that you have a beautiful day and a beautiful rest of your week between now and our next episode. Have an amazing day, be awesome, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.